The courtroom and district attorney's office in Manhattan is being prepared for an unprecedented spectacle: the arraignment on criminal charges of a former president of the United States. Not since George Washington was sworn in as the first president in 1789 has a holder of the highest office in the land faced a criminal trial. Yet, sometime next week, possibly Tuesday, Donald Trump will be brought into this building where he'll have his fingerprints and mugshot taken, be formally charged and then released on bail. The charges are as yet unknown, but are believed to relate to alleged campaign finance law violations from the 2016 presidential election. They relate to the payment of $130,000 to buy the silence of adult entertainment actress Stormy Daniels. The payments were arranged by Mr. Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen, who was jailed for 3 years over the matter in 2018. Cohen has helped the DA Alvin Bragg to build his case with documents and recordings, and is expected to be a key witness in the case. Although so-called hush money payments are not illegal, Mr. Bragg was investigating whether Mr. Trump falsified business records connected to the payments in a way that could constitute a campaign finance law violation, a criminal offence in the state of New York. Today, Donald Trump's lawyer said there was no case to answer.
It's a very troubling case because there's no crime here. The United States Attorney's Office, who has jurisdiction over federal election campaigns, turned this down. The FEC, the Federal Election Committee, turned this down and said there was no wrongdoing. So how a state prosecutor is going to prosecute a federal election campaign violation, which they think is a violation, which clearly isn't if you understand the law.
Mr. Trump himself said the charges are political persecution, a witch hunt, and electoral interference at the highest level. The former Vice President, Mike Pence, said the charges were outrageous and would further divide the nation.
And Sean joins us now from Washington. Sean, these are the first criminal charges Mr. Trump faces, but this case is far from the most serious legal problem facing him.
It is far from the most serious. I mean, people have looked at this and said the first time in history that you're prosecuting the most powerful politician, most powerful post holder in the world. Surely it deserves something more than fiddling the books over paying off a porn star many years ago. And they point to the investigations that are ongoing, notably in the state of Georgia, where there's an investigation where the DA there has said a couple of weeks back indictments imminent over his alleged attempts to subvert the election outcome in that state. We've all heard the tape of him asking the Secretary of State there to find 11,700 extra votes so he could overturn Joe Biden's victory in that state. And then here in DC we have two special prosecutors working for the Justice Department investigating, firstly, the Mar-a-Lago documents affair. Again, perhaps not the most serious of charges, but the most serious set of charges are being investigated by another special prosecutor who's looking at the storming of the Capitol on January the 6th and the wider alleged conspiracy around that to subvert the outcome of that 2020 election result, which Joe Biden did win, but which Donald Trump has consistently contested against. That, they say, is something that is definitely worth putting a President of the United States into a criminal court for, not perhaps this one that's going to take place in New York next week.
OK, Sean Whelan, Washington correspondent, thanks for that.